think it would help if I pull this down. Need to do a sound check because I'm still new and I'm still paranoid that it's not going to work. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Leighton White and Commander and Endmaster 64. Let me get this off. Holy moly. Would you look at crypto? It took a big old dump again. And now I'm getting all these notification dings. Helium just went up 30%. Ring just went up 21%. Oh, yeah. How many of y'all are crypto? Hi, Terry O'Neill and Rachel Farmer. I got a thumbs up from Commander. Good deal. Dan and Dietrich, good to see you again. Jessica Pestano. Gonna have to get the glasses. I swear I keep saying that. Lane 4. We can hear you. All right, good deal. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but that's kind of all I'm doing right now. Getting this little baby podcast of mine, this little pet of mine, up and going. Now that I don't have to deal with 90% of the bullshit that I used to have to deal with in the family courts, I'm exited Texas, so I don't have to have that direct looming dark cloud over my head, and I can expand. And I moved to Florida, and as you can see, I got a little sun today. Look at that farmer's tan. My farmer's tan is going nicely with my new buff self. If you joined me yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I went through and my old video from August of last year about just how fat I was. I was big, fat, Tubby McTubberson. And now I'm not nearly what I used to be. Mary says hello. Gentle as was that a dove? My first live. Oh, well, nice. Congratulations. I'll put you up on the deal there. Yeah, I got some sun today. I got some real Florida sun. And I don't wear sunscreen, so I think I just don't believe it anymore. I was always told that sun causes cancer, and I think the crap that we put on our skin might be the one causing cancer. But I gotta cover up a little bit occasionally, because once I get a little nice little brown, golden brown tan, then it won't peel as bad. I did keep it off my face a little bit, had my ball cap on. I got some rings here. And I haven't done outside work like this in over 2 years, and it was nice. I liked it. Oh my. Lane 4 just got through watching the video of Parker refusing to go with his mom and stepdad's house, and it was really encouraging with a thumbs up. Well, thanks, Lane. It's still encouraging to me that people are getting encouraged by it and people are being influenced by it, and young people going through the same crap that still exists because of the crooked family courts. Very little has changed. Some is changing, but very little has changed. And it's just nice that when I see these young people and their parents watching my channel and watching my boys go through what they went through. Lane, if you're brand new, you just saw the original Parker movie. When you're done, you can watch Parker versus the Man and just see how all that turned out. And then I got to go to jail for 60 days for what you saw in that. That was really fun. And if you hadn't caught on, Lane being the new guy, the FNG here, I'm very, very sarcastic. I wasn't born this way, but circumstances and pain made me this way. I didn't like sarcasm as a kid. I don't know if I didn't get it. I say kid, young man. I don't know if I didn't get it, but lots of sarcasm includes jokes, and jokes include things that tend to be offensive to sensitive, lightweight ears, which is how I was raised. I was raised in a box. I was raised in a bubble. My mom, bless her heart, she tried her best. I'm not mad at my mom. I don't talk to my dad, but he was still married to her. But it is what it is. They raised me in a bubble. and I just didn't get things. And part of that's just how I know that about myself. I know I'm slow on things. I'm a slow learner, but when I catch on, I'm like the turtle. I catch up and I usually win the race. I catch up pretty fast. There we go. Gentle as a dove. Sarcasm keeps my ex alive. Oh, is that a double entendre there? Well, I like sarcasm. Sarcasm. What is the old saying? Brevity is the soul of wit, or something like that. Being witty. Sometimes I can be. I'm a lot more witty now than I used to be, but I've been through a lot more crap, a lot more pain, and that kind of ties into the title of this about life is pain. Eventually, I plan on doing other things with my channel. I'm not exactly sure where this is going to go. I just like talking to other people, and I get a lot of people telling me, like Lane did earlier, about some of the things that my kids and me went through and did, and that I documented and filmed, was helpful and encouraging. And people tell me that a lot, and I've always liked helping people ever since I was a little kid. When old Justin was picking on old Sam back in the 3rd or 4th grade, spinning around the merry-go-round, and Justin was way bigger than me, but I went and pushed him over and stopped the merry-go-round. And Miss Calzada swatted my butt. Then my mom found out about it, and I think there were some words there, but I was too little. I don't really remember. But anyway, yeah, I like where this is going. Part of it is new. Part of that would normally in the old days would make me a little bit anxious, and I've never liked anxiety. When I first started feeling anxiety after my divorce, I'd never really felt, so I didn't know what it was. And anxiety is a very, very, very nasty pain. But life is pain. And speaking of sarcasm and life is pain, that is actually a quote from my favorite TV show for those regular listeners who are on here, like Pepe D's Nuts. I know he's a regular here. My favorite TV show is House. And there's this scene, and I don't remember which one. I've seen all 8 seasons multiple times. It's kind of like my go-to. When there's nothing else that I want to do and I just need to veg out for a little bit before I go to bed or something, I just watch a couple old episodes of House. And there's a scene where he and Cuddy were arguing. He's always wanting pain pills because his leg's all messed up. He's hooked on Vicodin, and there's just one point where he just bursts out and turns around. He's real dramatic. He said, "Life is pain." And it was really, really profound when he said that. It was profound to me because life is pain. Some people suffer more than others. Some people suffer far less than others. Some people suffer in different ways. Some people are put in prison for no good reason, like Ross Ulbricht. I'm sure he's in unimaginable pain being locked up. I'm going to put that on the screen just to have a record of it because I've always supported Ross. FREOSS. If you don't know who Free Ross is or who Ross Ulbricht is, please look up this hashtag. It has been around he's been in jail and prison. He went into prison right before or right after the Parker movie. And I've just always had a soft spot in my heart for him because he's been sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 40 years for a nonviolent crime. First time offender. He has owned up to what he's done. His mother, Lynn, I've actually had the pleasure of speaking with her one time on the phone, probably in 2017 or 18. I can't remember. Right around the time I got Blaine. And she's just an amazing woman. I've got the utmost respect for Lynn Ulbricht. She has never given up trying to get her son out. They threw the book at him. If you don't know, Ross Ulbricht is the creator of the now debunked, that I know of, the now debunked Silk Road. And some people who knew what Silk Road was or know what it is, what it was, they've got this knee-jerk reaction. Oh, that's where they sold bad things that people get high on, and that's where they did bad things. And yes, bad things were. It's a black market free trade, anonymous way to distribute goods and services. I'm pretty sure that far worse places now, or worse / efficient, however you want to look at it, whatever your point of view is on that, now exist. But anyway, Ross's pain, I can't imagine what he's going through. He was put in prison for the rest of his life. He was sentenced to die in prison. It's basically a death sentence. At the age of about 26 or something. He's younger than me. True. I'm going to get to a few comments here, and then I'm going to get into more about my life is pain. From Mazen, yo, accidentally just got this live recommended on my YouTube homepage. You look like you could be an actor. Really? That's a first. I've been told I look like an actor here and there. Maloney. What's his name? The guy from what's that cop show? Hell, I can't even think. It's something Maloney. Been around for forever, like 20 years. Mariska Hargitay is in it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I've been told Christopher Maloney. I've been told that I look like Christopher Maloney before. I've been told I look like Cal Ripken Jr. a couple times, but thank you, Mazen. I'm actually kind of surprised. I've been wondering why people tell me that they don't get notifications when I'm live, but I'm glad it actually worked. I put out a poll in my comments section, or no, in my community section on my YouTube channel, and asked, do you get notifications from me or not? I was just curious. I got about 1,000 votes there, and 75% of those all said no, we don't get them. And I don't know why. I've talked to another YouTuber I know, DSD, Dwayne. I talked to him about it, and I really don't know many YouTubers. A lot of people think that we all kind of know each other. I mean, some of them do, I guess, but I don't. I've been on and interviews with a few people, but I don't really know them. I think Dwayne's about the only one I can think of off the top of my head. So thanks for the feedback, Mazen. Oh, hey, you should definitely check out this book called It Didn't Start With You. I don't know how much of a reader you are, but I thought you might be interested in it. I do read a lot. I don't read lots and lots of books. I read a lot of books in jail. There's nothing else to do in jail. It is incredibly boring and cold. And my sister sent me a bunch of books. But I'll mark this, and I've got it up on the screen, and it'll be live on my channel forever, and I can go back and look, and I'll look into it. Charlotte RNA, your live did come up on my recommended too. Really? Well, Charlotte RNA, thank you for letting me know. This is, what the, are y'all just pulling my leg? New sub, I got a notice from Gentle as a Dove. This is interesting. I had no idea. Oh, dadgummit. Carlito. Let's see if I can find. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. I do miss a lot. Right now, it's on the nice end when there is just a few people in here. It is a little bit nicer because I can get to more comments. But Carlito, hey Caleb, nice to meet you. I've never met you, but I watched Parker Stands Up for His Rights. That's how I got introduced to your channel. I want to say you're a good dad, and that video blew up. It did. It blew up a lot. But Carlito, thank you. I tried to be. I've made a lot of mistakes. If you're new to the channel, you'll find out, like I was telling the other person a minute ago, go watch Parker versus the Man. You see what happens there. And I went to jail for that. To me, that's not one of my mistakes. But if you ask some people, that is a mistake that I made. But to me, it's not. Then all of you can fast forward 4 years. Like, where's the house Parker? There it is. Flavian Leo, how's your son doing? Well, I've Flavian, I've got 3 sons. And Parker, who I assume you're talking about, that's who most people see. He's doing well. He's grown. He has a private life, and I don't talk about it because they've asked me not to. They prefer their private life, but they are doing well. Parker is a professional horse trainer. But you can fast forward 4 years after the Parker stuff, and you get to watch Parker 2.0. And Parker 2.0 is Parker's little brother, Blaine. And Blaine and his older brother, there's a middle child there, Hayden. They both live with me. Hayden's back in Texas at the moment. He's seeing the other side of the family over there. But everyone is doing well, as well as can be expected. We've gone through the same pain that a lot of other people that go through in the crooked family courts, but I'm trying my best to keep a positive outlook on things. People ask me all the time, well, hang on, I better get to this. I'm going to miss it, Mazin. If there's a certain type of content you're doing on this channel, keep it up. But I also recommend having another channel on the side or this channel to do reaction videos or review vids. I've thought about that. I never did it in the past because I've got so many social medias as is, and just another password and another thing to keep up with. But I think you're probably right. Ms. Manda has told me that I probably, and she's talked to she does know other YouTubers, and said, I definitely need a YouTube manager. And I would assume that would be helpful if I had another channel, if I had a YouTube manager. There's Ms. Sarah Jane. Charlotte RNA, yes, standing up for his children. Please try and watch the video. It's been viewed millions. How are you, Miss Sarah Jane? I've only just seen your channel, so I don't really know your story. What is your channel? Is this about? And I will have to look for sure. Basically, my channel started as I'm just a divorced father, been divorced since 2007, had a litter of children with one woman, and we had 4 of them. And I've just had mortal hell with the crooked family courts. I called them out. I used to lose every time I got sued again in court, in family court. I lost every time. And then I just started documenting, because this thing right here, the cameras don't lie. And if you'll watch my bigger videos, you'll notice that they're all unedited. They're like that for a reason. So, people are always skeptical, as is. And I can't say that I blame them, because I'm a very skeptical person themselves. But at least one thing they can't say is he edited out. He edited out the parts that made him look bad. Nope. No. I left them all in there, including my own damn phone number. So, let's see. Feliz Ruiz. Hi, Caleb. I've never met you before. I started watching your content through the Parker. The Parker movie. My mom and Parker's mom are alike. My name is Feliz. Well, hello, Feliz Ruiz. Yikes. I'm sorry to hear that, I guess. I have to be careful what I say, obviously. Carlito says, I went through the same thing Parker went through, and I cannot tell you how sad that makes me every time I see that. You'd think these family courts would get the picture. You'd think they'd catch on. I've talked about this for years. The Amber Heards of the world started Me Too 2016. I think I was probably using that and saying that in various videos even before them. And it's not for them, the reason that the Amber Turds of the world. It's because I keep getting this comment right here from Carlito. I went through the same thing Parker went through. Me too. I saw the Parker movie and I went through the same thing. That happened to me too. Maybe the likes of Amber Heard, them and their ilk just ripped me off. I do happen to think that, this was just me puffing a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Depp was a secret fan of mine, because the Parker movie happened in 2013. Pretty sure his short-lived marriage was 2014, 15, something like that. It was very, very short. And I firmly believe, had Johnny not had the wherewithal to make those recordings of Amber, tell the world, Johnny, I, Johnny Depp, am a victim of DV. Just tell him. Had he not had those certain recordings and of her just point blank saying, yes, I hit him, quit being such a baby, Johnny. If he hadn't had those, I'm not sure that he would have had a case. But he had it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Depp was secretly the reciprocal as a fan of me. I'm so full of crap. I'm just joking. God dang, we started off talking about sarcasm. I told you I was sarcastic. Virginie Clark, I haven't seen you for a while. Well, Virginie, I've been off and on for years. I thought a couple years ago I wanted to go be a sailor, and I did. And I'm glad I did it, but I'm off the boat, and I made a few videos during that time. Went live a couple times, but now I'm finally in the head. I've gotten the proper headspace. I'm trying my best to do this little podcast where I go live at 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. If I miss a day, I just miss a day. Maybe I'll make up for it on a Saturday. I think it's last Saturday I went live, or is it Sunday? I'm not sure. So the people who do appreciate the things that I say and talk about, and my horrible humor, my horrible jokes, and me trashing the family court as it is defined and these days, then welcome to my crazy world. It's just going to be me talking about whatever is on my mind. Yashiro, this is why I want you to be my dad last year. My dad didn't say happy birthday, nothing. And when it was my sister's birthday, he took her out to dinner, and I know you would never do that to your kids. Oh, see, that's another one. That's another one of those comments like I forget from Yashiro here that absolutely breaks my heart. These kids telling me they wished I was their dad. I rail against the family courts, and I constantly go on how it is one-sided for the most part. I'm fully aware that there are good mothers who get screwed in family court. It just happens. It's just usually the father. But at the same time, I'm fully aware that there are some horrible, horrible fathers that deliberately choose to abandon their kids on purpose. They pick whatever it is they pick over their child. Now, I don't put those people in the same category as fathers who have experienced what I went through. They tried, and they got beat down, and then they kind of wither away. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the scumbag dudes that just walk out. Life got a little tough for them. Their life pain, it was just too hard, and they walked away so they can heal themselves. Well, Daddy-o, you think life is hard for you? What about that child of yours like Yashiro here? These kids that need fathers. I personally believe that there is an assault on the family in this country for sure. And I've heard a lot from a lot of people in other countries as well. Lots of European countries, Australia. I've heard it's an assault, because let's face it, there are a lot of scummy men out there, but it's like news stations and most movies. Think of every movie a family movie you've seen in the last 30 years. What is the dad? He's almost always a doofus. I think Al Bundy was like the last Man, I'm just kidding. Speaking of Married with Children, I've heard they're doing a reboot. How awesome would that be? Oh, man. The kid's with you now, I hope. So you are a great dad. Yeah, two of them are. But my kids are grown, and the ones that are with me, that's just like hang out for now, and they've got other things going. I just can't talk about it. That's the nice thing about getting old. One of the downsides of getting old is you get gray, and in my case, I got fat. But when the kids get grown, it's kind of nice because when I want to go do something, I just no butts to wipe, no alarms to set, no worrying about, getting them home at 2:00 or getting them home at 6:00 and then potentially getting sued again in family court. I don't have to worry about any of that crap. And it's really nice. Man, the commenters and questions are really, y'all got some really thoughtful questions. Caleb, this is from Romeo Stuff. Caleb, I just want a nicer mom, and I have to live with my stepdad, and he threatened that he would knock my butt over some situation I didn't even do anything wrong, and my real dad is way more. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I wished I could do something. I don't know that I have. And that's a tough one. Best I know to do is try to stay calm, read lots and lots and lots of books, and get lots and lots of exercise, and find some friends that you have some things in common. Yeah. Oh, hey, man, this channel makes me feel so seen. My dad hasn't neglected me or anything like that, but he's very emotionally unavailable and sometimes tells me that things that feel not that great. Well, I mean, everyone's a little different. I'm a little more touchy feely, like emotional wise. Like y'all seen me cry. On particularly in Parker versus the Man. That's just one of those things. You don't have to be the perfect parent in order to be a perfect parent. There's things that I'm sure my kids, if you ever cornered them and you quizzed them about, they'd have some things to gripe about me. I'm trying my best to beat them to the punchline. Basically, I know my drinking was a problem, and I'm open about it, and I chose to do something about it. Ooh, here's a loaded one from Virginia Clark. What do you think about marriage? Would you consider giving another go, or rather not? Marriage seems to be one of the very few uniquely American things where it's not just a vow, a union between two people who love each other. Nope. Like Doug Stanhope said, we're Americans, we got to get the government involved. When you get the government involved, you get contracts involved, and you get lawyers involved, and that all revolves around money. I don't object to marriage. I've been single 10 years. I have a girlfriend now. It's kind of new. We haven't talked about it, but when you get my age, you've been through what I've been through. For years, I said I would never, ever, ever get married again. I think that marriage for when you're very young is just foolish, whether it's government marriage or real marriage or, just you and whoever it is you're in love with. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am perfectly fine with gay marriage. That's another one of those places where I separate from Republicans. I was raised a Republican. If you love somebody, you love somebody. If you vow to be with that person and y'all have mutual interest and you want to take care of each other, great. Government marriage for young people, really, in any situation, I think it's dangerous when you're young. It's dangerous anyways because of the way the crooked family courts are set up. But I would do it again. I'm very, very picky now. I didn't used to be so picky. I don't fall for eyelashes and boobs and crying Amber Heard non-existent crocodile tears. I just don't fall for that bull crap anymore. I've always watched. If they try that, if I ever feel like I'm being manipulated, I bounce. Sometimes I'm wrong, even if I wasn't being manipulated. And I've had, a couple girlfriends that, we're still friends. We don't talk all the time, but I mean, if I needed them or something, here we go again. I'm just glad it's not my phone just blowing up again. I'm just glad it's not picking up on here like it did last time. But yeah, I would do it again. I've been through enough school of hard knocks. I think I would try it again. That being said, I'm glad I've stayed single for the last 10 years. I think it was good for me. I'm glad I didn't just hop right back in like I did after the first one ended. I was married within a year. And I'm not saying anything bad about my second wife at all. She's great. Her folks are great. I think the world of all of them. Not going to get into that, but I think the world of all of them. But I hopped in it too fast. And I guess, that falls into the question, what do you think about marriage? Well, if you're jumping right into it when you just got out of another one, I think it's a terrible idea. If you're too young, it's a terrible idea. If you're doing it to, write off your taxes, that's a terrible, terrible reason to get married. I think people should get married if they want to, but only after lots and lots of time has gone by, lots and lots of time to get to know each other, have some really good fights and find out how they react. If they react by throwing shit and yelling and screaming and hollering and making fools of themselves and breaking cell phones and cordless phones and bashing your glasses off of your head, then no, do not get married. What I think about that marriage, get out of it. And if you hadn't done it yet, if that's what your girlfriend or boyfriend does to you when you get in a fight, walk away. Walk away. I've learned in my life, I give one chance and only one chance. There's no second chances. If you ever become violent, if your significant other, soon to be the person you think you want to marry, ever gets violent and hits, walk away. No matter what the consequence, it doesn't matter what plans you've made, how well your families get along, how well the social networking is going well. No matter what you think if they get violent, walk away. Turn around, walk away, and never contact that person again, ever, for any reason. That will make a statement to that person. That will make a statement to everybody who that have seen y'all, looking like you're happy and going to get along. And, oh my God, she walked away. Like, they were great. Why did she walk away? Why did she call it off? Well, he hit her. She walked away. You should walk away immediately if possible. Walk away. Do not get involved with that. It is not worth it. They will not heal themselves. You will not fix them, no matter how good you think you are, no matter how much he or she says they're going to go talk to the pastor or get counseling. They're not going to change because you want them to. They might change if they want to. But that makes a very profound statement, not just to them, but everybody that knows you. I love myself, whoever you may be. I care about myself enough to respect myself. And if you've got kids, to not let somebody walk all over me and get violent. You walk away and people will figure it out. And you'll feel, I'd say, empowered. Because it's kind of like, punching a bully in the face who's just been messing with people or, for all year at school. And then everyone's scared to do anything to him, and he just keeps getting away with it. And then one small kid, there's lots of stories written about this, lots of movies made about this. One kid just turns around one day and just socks him. Poof! Gives him a dose of his own medicine. Guess what happens to that kid? Well, in modern indoctrination, public schools, indoctrination centers, they might arrest both of them. But in the real world, when you stand up to a bully, however it is you choose to do it, you get a little respect, and people learn, oh, that person looks meek and mild, but I don't think I'm going to mess with that person. I think they're really serious when they say, I will marry you, but if you ever get violent with me, I will turn around and walk away, and you will never, ever see me again. Once you've made that really clear, you're going to find the right person eventually. Someone's going to notice and say, whew, that person's amazing. I like that about him. Man, I didn't mean to go off on that. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Here's from Mary with a little bumblebee. I am very lucky. I have the husband that I do. Been married 36 years, and the man has never raised his voice or hand at me. We treat each other with love and respect. Mary with the bumblebee, you are one lucky woman, and your husband is one lucky man. Y'all found it years and years ago, and you've made it work. And I can only imagine any struggles you may have gone through, because life is pain, just like the title of this podcast. And here it is, a firsthand testimony from Mary. Been married 36 years. Never laid a hand on her. Ever yelled at her. You can resolve disputes without hollering and yelling and screaming and fighting and breaking shit over your spouse's head. You can do it. It can be done. But you get involved with someone like Amber Heard, you're going to go down the road that so many men have gone down. And I know I keep bringing that up, and I know people probably get tired of hearing about it, but I just can't help it. Johnny Depp has done a world of good, a service to so many of us who've wanted to be able to do that and simply got too tired and beat down, or were too broke, or both. Danon de Terra, boundaries are key. Do not teach a person that it's fine to mistreat you. Yes, walk away. Establish boundaries. I think the reason some people don't establish boundaries is because they fall in love with someone. Their whole life is rewritten in their head, and they can't imagine them not being there, even though they might not have even known them very long. And they have self-imposed boundaries that they've not expressed. And that person may cross a boundary or get a little too close. Maybe, everyone's boundaries are a little different. It is, maybe that person doesn't know because you didn't tell them. And that's what Dan in here is saying. And I think it's correct. You establish the boundaries pretty much right off the bat. And if they're not okay with that, say that's fine. No hard feelings. Just you can be polite. Just say, I'm just looking for someone that will respect my boundaries and move on. Oh, hey, I'm soaking up all this advice. Thanks so much, Caleb. Well, you're welcome. I'm just giving what I've learned over these past 15 years being divorced, 10 years married, making bad decisions, doing the wrong thing. Things that I would tell my younger self if that was possible, if time travel was possible, and I got to redo it all over again. Sometimes I hope there is an afterlife. I don't know if there is. Maybe there is. Maybe there's not. I have no idea. I think it'd be cool if there was, and if just be the coolest thing ever if I could know some of the things, the hard lessons that I've learned the hard way, to not repeat them. Now I know I'm not so naive to think that if I would have just done everything right, then life would have been painless. That's bullcrap. Life is pain. Today, for example, was painful for me. Look at me. I'm as bright as a lobster. It was painful. But you know what else is painful? Being fat. And I'm not here to fat shame because that's not what I do. That's not my forte. I'm talking about me. I can shame myself. I was fat. Like Cartman. Fucking fat, Cal. I'm fucking fat as fucking fuck. Sorry for the language, youngins. That's just how I talk. I'm not trying to be gross or anything, but I did finish I raised all my kids on South Park. So I try not to use too many F-bombs, just to, not be obnoxious about it. But when I'm quoting South Park or a good movie that I just really love, occasionally I'll do a few F-bombs, but it's not meant to upset. But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. When I was fat, 6 months ago, I began this journey. I was 221 pounds. I'm now down to 188. I have plans to get down to about 170-ish. I'm going to strip down all my fat, and then I'm going to continue my regimen of my pretty strict diet. The proper number of calories for my body size and my activity level. The proper amount of protein per my body weight every single day. My exercise regime every single day. Occasionally I have a rest day, but for the most part, generally speaking, 95% of the days I'm alive, I'm in the gym. And if I can't make the gym, I'm at least doing, home gym stuff, sit-ups, push-ups, that sort of thing, or going on walks. Because being fat for me was way more painful than going to the gym. That's the excuse I hear a lot. It's just too much work. It's too hard. I hate working out. It's going to the gym. It's too painful. Well, being fat, especially as you get older, is more painful. It's a whole lot more painful. I know because I've done it. I had mobility issues. I was having a hard time. I could get up and get around, but I couldn't move as quickly. I wasn't as agile. I wasn't as strong. I couldn't sleep as well. When you got all that extra stuff on you. And I know the whole world and the internet's plumb full of recommendations on exercise and working out. I know what works for me. I don't know what works for you. I know keto does not work for me. Carbs are good for you. Calories is what makes you fat. Lack of protein, and you will not build muscle. That's just a fact. If you don't get enough protein daily, and you can get protein from plants and animals. I've done the vegan diet, and it's not for me. I'm a carnivore or omnivore. I eat steaks and chicken and fish when I can afford it. Golly, that fish has gotten insane. It's as bad or worse. It's gone up more than fuel prices. Not gonna lie, this Alienware alien logo is quite intimidating. Anyways, I recommend reacting to Mockingbird by Eminem because it's about his relationship with his kids. I think you might relate to it. I remember when Eminem came out, I was still young and naive and raised in a bubble and didn't understand sarcasm. And he looked intimidating to me. I was in my 20s when he got big. He got big in the late 90s. And as I've gotten older, I've watched and listened to more of Eminem, and he's a little different. He's got, he's got his own quirks, but overall, he's a brilliant artist. Like brilliant. He's amazing what he can do actually. And I've watched him, go through his pain and his struggle and how he reacted. He was big time into drugs, and the last I heard, he got off of it. He got off of it, and I know he's talked about his daughter, as you said here. I know he always talks about his ex and his mom. I mean, he's definitely got some mom issues, like big time. He's got big time mama issues. I don't know if they resolve it or not, but The Life of Jeremiah Rios, YouTube star. Keep up the awesome work. You are the best person ever and YouTuber ever. Well, thank you, Life of Jeremiah Rios. Dan and Datra, I'm dealing with the pain of being overweight myself right now. I can't seem to get past the physical pain of working out to actually do it consistently. Did you deal with that? I damn sure did. Dannon, I dang sure did. That's that's like the first step in any recovery is admitting you've got a problem. You dealing with the pain of being overweight. Good for you for admitting it. Acknowledge it. I don't know how old you are, but I promise you, as you age, it will get worse. It will get harder and harder and harder. And the sooner you can nip it in the bud, the better off you'll be. Life is pain. The goal that any of us can, the best goal that any of us can strive to achieve, in my opinion, is to just get through this life circling on this rock around this big glowing ball, however many times we got to do it until it's lights out and we're in the ground, as painless as possible without harming anyone else. And one of the easiest ways I know, and I can testify this because I know firsthand, is physical fitness. Get plenty of sun, drink lots of water. Personally, I take, and I learned this mostly from Blaine, believe it or not. My now 19-year-old son, he's amazing with this stuff. The things that he understands at 19, just when I was his age, just went way over my head. But I maintain about 1 gram of protein for every pound that I weigh. Some people say half a gram per pound of body weight. And I don't claim to be an expert. I don't claim to quite fully understand how it all works, but starving yourself is horrible. It's just almost as bad, if not worse, than overeating. You'll have to play with it. You'll have to find out how many calories. I think the typical recommended daily allowance, the RDA on any package of any food in the U.S. at least, I'm not sure where you're from, but in the U.S. I think it's based on a 2,000 calorie diet. I think that's kind of average. Some people, like powerlifters, get up to like 6,000 or 8,000 calories, but they're in a sport designed for that. Pro athletes who burn like long distance bicyclers, they lots of calories, 6,000-8,000 plus. And most of those are carbs in the form of, sugars. But you must get the protein and you have to break down the muscle. You have to make it hurt the next day. You do certain set, for me, I do I wouldn't plan on even talking about this, but I guess I will. I learned this from Blaine. Day 1's push, day 2's pull, day 3's legs. So day 1, I'm pushing, meaning I'm using my triceps and my chest, and then up in some of those, one of those days, I put in shoulders, because shoulders, they kind of push, and it just kind of, shoulders, like they go all the way, wrap all the way. Just incorporate shoulders whatever day you want. But on day 2, I pull. Lots of curls, lots of lat pull downs, lots of rows. Some people do deadlifting. Personally, I don't do deadlifting because I've got a back injury, but I do rows, or you're sitting down and pulling back. And then on day 3, I do legs, and I hate doing legs, like hate legs, but I never miss it. It's very important to, and I've started doing kettlebells. Y'all ever heard of kettlebells? Joe Rogan pushes that a lot. That's not where I got it, but it's a weight with a big handle. It's just, cast iron, I think. And you just sling it around, and if you're holding it and going down, and then you bring it all the way up and over your head and back down and up and down, up and down. It gets the back of your legs. It gets your back. It gets your shoulders. It gets, it ties, like, that's what they call core building. It ties it all together. It ties everything together. Incorporate kettlebells in there, and lots of stretching, and eat real food. Eat whole food. Try your best to, when you go to the supermarket, whichever side the produce is on, go to that side first. As fresh as you can get it. Make your own meals. And if you don't know how to cook, it's not hard. Internet's loaded with stuff. Stay away from oils. I don't use any oil anymore. I had no idea how many calories are in oil, whether it comes from the animal fat or comes from, an avocado. But 1 tablespoon's got, like, I don't know, 100. It depends on which oil it is. A bunch. It's got a lot of oil. Whenever they say don't eat fried foods, it's not the fact that it's fried. It's the oil used to fry it is still in the batter. And in whatever it is you've fried, you're eating, the normal food, whether it's a cheese stick or whatever, a chicken breast, but it's so full of the oil. If that chicken breast was steamed or grilled, it may have, depending on the size, I don't know, just for a random number, 300 calories. But you put it in some bread and you dip it and fry it in the vat of oil, you might have a couple teaspoons of oil that'll have another 150, 200 calories, and they're just empty calories. There's no protein in oil, to the best of my knowledge. Most oils, that I know of, there's no oil in, or there's no protein in it. That's what they call, and I still don't fully understand it. When you hear these fitness people talking about making it fit in your macros, talking about your macros, you got to get enough food that has enough protein, but it doesn't go over on calories, but it also has plenty of fiber, the balance. And the more you eat whole foods, the healthier foods, the better off your body's going to react to it. But if you don't eat protein, and some people's, the vegans they say they can get enough protein from plants. I tried it. It didn't work for me. You have to eat so much of it because plants just don't have the protein nearly as much as animals do. That's just a fact. I mean, that's where all the protein's made originally. Animal, we just store it in our muscles. Deer, cows, chicken, we just store it. But it's made from the best I understand, in plants. Didn't mean to go off onto that. Or I hope I answered your question. Sometimes I just get to go, and you can only imagine being one of my cheerings. Dad, I need some help with this. Well, have a seat, child. cracks knuckles, goes off on a big old tangent. Shut up, Dad. Shut up, Dad. Craft in the Timo. I just got a notification that you were streaming. I haven't seen anything about you since your battle against Paxton a few years ago. What have you been up to lately? Well, Crafton Timo, you're about the third or fourth or fifth person that has commented today that I saw that got my notification, which is something I've had a concern about of why people aren't getting my notifications. I don't know why. But welcome to my budding new podcast. I'm trying something different. My cheerings, my kids are grown, and I like helping people. So this is what I'm doing. That's what I've been up to. And losing 33 pounds. Still got another 12, 15 to go. Lacey Wynn, can you tell me if who can answer in 5 minutes who loves Emily Hirsch? I have no clue. Or you might be talking to somebody else. I have no clue what that means. Virginia Clark, I'm not watching my calorie intake, but I kind of avoid sugary stuff and exercise 5 times a week, cardio, weightlifting, legs, arms, and core. Well, if you're moving that much, our bodies run on sugar. That's just, the mitochondria, the powerhouse of every cell, every single cell in our body runs on sugar. There's nothing inherently wrong with sugar. There's just something wrong with if that's all you eat. If all, these kids, if all they eat is Twinkies and ding dongs, they're not getting any protein. They drink Mountain Dew and they're not getting nearly enough water. Then that's when it becomes a problem. And again, I'm not a doctor, and I know that everybody's got an exception. Well, my daughter has this, or my friend has this, or my dad has that. And you're saying something that goes against what I believed and what I know. There are exceptions. I'm just giving a general rule of thumb, or what I go by, what works for me. But yeah, our bodies run on sugar. There's nothing inherently wrong with sugar. Lacey, never mind. I already got that. Mazine, you should do a TED Talk. I've been told that. I used to watch TED Talks. I don't even know. Is that a thing anymore? I haven't seen any. Man, oh, sir, Lexi Puckett. Man, oh, sir, love daddy, oh, mommy. Okay. I have no clue what that means. Are you trolling me, Lexi Puckett? Because I do have a delete button and I know how to use it. I kind of wish you were Joe Rogan's podcast. Fat chance. I think it'd be cool if Joe would have me on, but no, he's like way up there. But when Joe started, I've watched here. Have you, any of y'all who watch podcasts and Rogan in particular, have you ever watched his really old stuff? Like his really old stuff back from 2010, maybe even sooner? Or is just a dude sitting on a couch? They're awful. They're terrible. I dare say I've made a podcast or two in the last month that were better than some of his. I'm just kidding. He's Joe Rogan. He's an interesting guy. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's an interesting guy. He certainly seems genuine, even if he's wrong. From an opinions point of view, he's still a genuine guy. But yeah, he's full of crap. I mean, his old stuff, he got some raunchy stuff. And Life of Jeremiah Rios, when are you coming to Richmond, Virginia? I have no plans to come to Richmond, Virginia. I've been there before, once or twice. But I don't know anybody there, and times are tough, man, with these fuel prices these days. Whoa. You can't see me? Says I'm live. Holy mother of Jesus. We're an hour in already. I didn't even get to the stuff I was going to talk about. Feliz Ruiz. Yes, TED Talks are still a thing. I've watched a lot of them for college. I remember watching those, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago. Well, I wouldn't have the slightest clue how to go about doing a TED Talk. I would imagine that's probably an invitation only thing. I'm not sure. I would do it, I guess. I don't know really what they'd want to hear from me about. The only thing I've really got experience in is, surviving family court. Are you thinking of traveling to Europe, London, or Paris or Rome? I used to, but the situation that I am now, I've been trying for 4 years to get my passport. And that's actually a really good question. I always have no problem going back to the reason I don't have my passport. My passport keeps getting denied. Deadbeat Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, his office, and come to find out, if you care to watch, my own lawyer has dropped the ball when I won primary custody of Blaine back in 2017 with the right to designate his residence. Judge Sarah Kate Billingsley, the one and only, the greatest judge ever born in this country, awarded me cheer and support, which I didn't even ask for. And she awarded me a few other things that I didn't even ask for. And I used those things in mediation after she ordered us to go to mediation, where I used those to get rid of all back child support and all current child support, since we have both had, the minor kids. And it fell through, apparently. My own lawyer dropped the ball, Gavin Norse. Gavin tried to get rid of me, submitted a letter to the court, and the last I heard was denied, and last I heard, he's still my lawyer. Last time I heard from him was, I believe, damn near, a couple months ago. I'm paraphrasing. The judge didn't sign it, or wouldn't sign it, or can't sign it, or something happened, and he has no choice but to represent me to his full capacity, lest he violate his oath. He has no choice but to represent me and get it fixed, because I hadn't fired him. I suspected he wanted me to fire him. I even talked about it before it all happened. And I just kind of figured out, if someone's pushing me to do something, maybe I shouldn't do it. So to answer your question, I would love to come to Europe and Paris and Rome, and I'd love to see all those places. I just don't see it happening anytime soon, Virginia. But if I do, you people, the ones here listening to me on my fledgling little podcast, will be the first to know, because I'm going to rub it in some people's faces when I finally get this and I finally beat them. I've had Jeremiah Rios at Public 2 Lum, famous as now as the YouTube's everybody knows from around the world. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. There's Opana. You ever going to back to Texas again? Nope. Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Oh, I'll go back to see the kids, but I'll never move back there. Hell no. Texas you done messed up, Aaron. They done screwed with the wrong dude. Why would they withhold my passport? Because they won't update my file's not updated. They still say, I agreed to mediation that all back child support's gone. That was that's what we signed. That was what we agreed to. They gave it to the Attorney General, and my lawyer messed up the wording somehow. The AG called me, not Ken Paxton, but somebody that works for him. I've got a recording of it. It's on my channel. I'll tell you exactly when it was, March 23rd. Go watch my channel. And he illegally called me. He illegally talked to me, and he illegally asked me to return his phone call. And now they are saying that I illegally recorded them because Florida's a 2-party state, consent state, or Texas is a 1-party. Well, they're not allowed to talk to me if I've got a lawyer on retainer. I've always had a lawyer on retainer. Have since 2017 when I hired Gavin Norris. They called me anyway. They left voicemails. I've got the voicemails on there. They sent me emails wanting to talk to me. They're not allowed to talk to you, but by golly, that guy sure wanted to talk to me, and he did talk to me. And we figured out the problem right there on the fly. My lawyer dropped the ball. And I still haven't heard. He tried to fire me. He can't, though. Oops. Man, that's got to suck. That has got to suck. You want to fire your own client, and you can't. Sometimes it is fun to be me. So, since it's not updated, the AG's office of Texas, Deadbeat Paxton's office says I owe like 50 or 60,000 in back child support because all the penalties and interest over all these years. I don't know it. It's not. I've got it in writing that I don't owe it. I'm not going to pay it. And so, if you're behind on child support, since we all know it's bull crap, it's not child support. It's I want to ruin your life. Give me money support. We all know what it is. And since I'm behind, I'm by their terms, a deadbeat dad. And they won't, they're denying me my passport. I'm in prison here. Like literally, I can't leave these borders. Truth. That's just the truth. Mazine, you need to do TikToks and YouTube videos about damn near everything, sports, music, movies, etc. You'll be famous and win every court case. I have a TikTok. I just don't use it much. It's just a generational thing. It's like getting people who grew up in the 60s listening to Leonard Skinner and, anybody in the 60s and 70s to, listen to modern music and like it. They just won't. I've watched a few TikToks, a bunch of them, and some of them are clever, but there's something about the style. I just don't like it. It's not my thing. And like I said, I've got one. I've got a few little videos, silly videos up there, but I've never done much with it. Virginia Clark, where's the best place to visit in America? I've only been to Florida, California, and New York. Well, scratch New York off for good, permanently. The concrete jungle of New York is plumb full of people who want to meddle in your affairs. And they're known as communists. That's just my opinion. Coincidentally, I know a lot of Floridians who live here now who are from New York. They are New Yorkers, and they came here because they tried their best to, shape their own state government to where they weren't just taxing them to oblivion and supporting Amber Turd's crap of me poo, that type of mentality, and they wouldn't happen. So they just said, screw it, and they moved down here, and they love it. Texas, there's some neat places in Texas. I'm not gonna lie. I shit talk Texas because the family court sucks there. Ken Paxton brags that he pulls in more child support extortion. Money than any other state in the union besides maybe California. But if not, he's there. It's either first or second. They're so hard that it is all about money. He brags about it. It's on his own website. My Title 4D funded. It even states Title 4D on his own website. We collect more child support than any other, and he's just pandering to the typical person who gets child support and uses child support as a let's just face it, a resume enhancer. Not talking about Parker. He's doing great. If you said you never got to do what you wanted to talk about today, what is it? Oh, well, yeah, good point. Well, I have. This life is pain. I guess that wasn't entirely true. Life is pain, and I've had a painful day today. I'm like I said, I'm beat red. Worked outside today. When I got home, it was just coming down rain, but Blaine hadn't been at the gym. We've only got one car here at the moment. So I didn't feel like going because I'd busted my ass outside all day, but I went to the gym and it was painful. And we were low on food and I didn't want to go to the grocery store because I knew I had to go live because I'm trying my best to get my my little fledgling podcast going. So I know I need to be on time promptly at 8 Monday through Friday. If I do miss a day, I'm going to make up for it on a Saturday. I want to keep going at this. And that was basically it. Essentially life is pain no matter what. I want to maintain my regimen. It was painful being so fat that it was hard for me to move. Harder to sleep and harder to roll over and just harder to sit up. 33 pounds ago, I actually struggle with that. And as I get older, when I was young, I wasn't overweight back then, but you see loads of young overweight people, and it's easier when you are young just simply because you're young. When you get older and the gray hair set in and things start, ask any older person, anyone 40 and above, hell, anyway, 35 and above, shit just starts hurting and you're just, but when you're fat and you get old, and I'm living proof of it. And again, I'm not fat shaming. I'm trying to motivate people because I'm talking to myself about myself. When I was fat, I was in more pain and I'm getting older, and I'm now 6 months older now. I'm 45. I'm now 6 months older, and I can only imagine how much harder it's going to be when I'm 55 and 65 and 75. If I make it that long, I want to take care of my body, meaning I'm going to have to go to the gym, which is painful. I'm going to have to go do work outside sometime, which is enjoyable, but it's still painful. I'm going to have to show it for my kids because, obviously I don't have to do it in the way I used to because they're grown, but still that was painful. But, I did it because what would be a lot more painful for me if I was 45, had all these grown kids that didn't know their dad because dad didn't want to show up. It was just too hard. That would be unbearable pain for me. So as painful as all the bullshit that the family court put me through, it's far less painful than having kids who don't know their dad. Got a $2 chip in here from Dan and I'm going to get your name right eventually, I hope. Tara, in the future, you can talk about owning a business. I can. I have been a business owner. I mean, I've been self-employed most of my adult life. Arguably, I'm not very good at it, some people might say, because I don't have the business anymore. But, you get sued enough times, and with 4 kids, young kids at that, it's hard to run a business. Really hard. You get thrown in jail if you don't have somebody to run the business for you. It's pretty hard to run a business. But thank you for the $2 chip in there. Mazine as Juice WRLD fan, perfect title. Juice WRLD, he's a singer, right? I've had Juice WRLD. His name's, I don't know any of his music. Is he still alive? I'm not sure. I want to say I heard he's not. Perfect. Okay, that's where I was. Twisty Biz. It does matter if you're fat. You can do whatever you want with your body. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're fat. You can do with your body whatever you want. Yeah? Okay, go right ahead. I'm going to do whatever I want. To me, it matters. It might not matter to you, but to me, it matters because I want to live a less painful life. But if you enjoy being fat, by all means, go be fat. I don't care. If you want to, like I was talking the other day, if you want to, transition to another gender, by all means, go right ahead. I don't care. If you're gay, go right ahead. I don't care. That's up to you. I'm talking about what works for me. I'm talking about my world experience. And when people come to me for advice on how to feel better, this is what I tell them. I'm not going to tell them it doesn't matter if you're fat, because it does matter, because you're going to get older and it's going to get worse, and you're going to have comorbidities, and you're going to have your immune system is going to go down if you don't take it and you intentionally stay fat. That's what you want to do with your life. I really don't care, man. Have at it. Go be happy, do it if that's what you want to do. But that's not for me. Keep living your life, take care of yourself and the kids as well. Well, Life of Jeremiah, I plan on it. What was the most powerful thing you went through, Caleb? No, painful thing. Parker versus the Man. That was the worst day of my life. Absolutely, by far, bar none, the worst day of my life was having my own son ripped away from me. When he already lived with me for 2.5 months, everything was going fine enough. And I got sued again. And then, a year later, wound up doing jail time for it. I had to go to jail for 60 days. My kids had to go without a father. That was they call this family court, and they label me a deadbeat dad. And what's really strange about that? The only time I ever missed a visitation with my kids was when the family court threw me in jail for being a good dad. How messed up is that? So I tell people, if you do get divorced, some people need to get divorced. Don't go through the family court. Mutually agree on your own. Hire your own mediator. Cut out the middleman. Get one lawyer between the two of you that is completely doesn't know either one of you. You'll save yourself a lot of heartache, a lot of money. You can pass on a lot of wealth to your kids. But if you just really want to screw them over and screw your kids over in any, potential inheritance, by all means, go through the family court and just see what that person, that black robe who doesn't really know you, and some care, most don't. You just see how that works out for you. And, good luck. So that was the most painful thing I've ever went through. Stewie Guy. Hey, there's Stewie Guy. The ingredients you eat matter in the matter of improving health and feeling better too. Yes, it does. Absolutely. The fresher, the better. Sometimes you got to eat things out of can. It's more convenient. It's quicker. I mean, I get it. But for the most part, the fresher, the better. Ingredients matter. And if you make your own, you'll save a lot of money. And in this economy, in this Joe Biden economy that we're in right now, the stimmy checks. Y'all ever noticed? How many of y'all got stimmy checks? How many of y'all got stimulus checks back in the day? I didn't get shit. I didn't apply for it. I didn't want it. I knew this was coming. The inflation. I knew this was coming. You notice no one's talking about stimmy checks now? What happened? Everybody was all talking about, give me the stimmy, give me the stimmy. I need another stimulus check. No one's even, you don't hear them talking about it. And everyone's suffering, pain at the pump. They were all talking about that. Baby formula's gone. Real estate and rents going through the roof. Crypto tanked. No, it's just, this is all by design, by the way. Like, this is the conspiracy theory in me coming out. The conspiracy theorists. Dan and Dietrich, thank you for the motivation, Caleb. This is why I say you're a great role model. Well, thank you very much, Dan. I'm glad you got something out of it. If you know anybody that you think could benefit from talks like these, my impromptu TED Talks, pass my link along. And thank you so much. There's Panda again. Too much salt can make a person get diarrhea and make you dehydrated. I don't know if it makes you dehydrated. It makes you hold. I can't remember which way that works. But your body needs salt, but just the right amount. I do use the pink sea salt, and it's just weird. I found a video the other day. Some dude just ranting and raving how awful it is for you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, get a life. You say no salt ever in anything. Dude, you have to have some salt. Like, you got to have some iodine. You just can't have too much. Virginia, I think there is too much pressure on the media. My 19-year-old has low confidence, but I have said people's on TikTok or Instagram portray a lavish lifestyle, great body, but you just don't know. Well, yeah. Nobody looks like that in real life. These filters, it's all bullshit. That's it's all Hollywood. It's all bullshit. Now, I'm not saying all Hollywood people are bullshit, but the vast majority, yeah. Everything's a lie. Everything's a mask. Everything's a chameleon. Most people are just fake. Most thing you see on TV is fake. And that's what bugs me is a lot of people know that and they'll talk about that, but then they'll watch the news and they'll base their entire opinion on world politics or gender studies or whatever. They'll base everything on, well, the news said so. Well, yeah, it's because they're a bunch of liars too. You gotta learn to read between the lines. Most stuff you find on TikTok, enjoy it for what it is. I'm not saying TikTok's bad or movies are bad or Instagram's bad, but enjoy it for what it is. It's entertainment. I like to be entertained. Like I watch Deadpool. I love Deadpool. I don't even like superhero movies. I hated superhero movies. I didn't hate them. They just weren't my thing. But it's entertaining. And I don't really even like Ryan Reynolds that much. That's the only show he's ever made that I liked. I've tried watching his other movies. I just don't like the guy. But Deadpool is absolutely brilliant. And I watch it for what it is. It's completely fake. It's completely made up. It's just a story. Same reason I love Harry Potter. It's just a wonderful story. It's J.K. Rowling has got a brilliant mind. I love J.K. Rowling's mind. She's just brilliant. And I know it's all fake. It's all made up. It's not real. So enjoy movies and TikTok and Instagram for what it's worth. And just know that it's not real. That's what I've always told my kids, they'd show me, everything under the sun. And, I would, entertain them just, depending on their age. But if it's not real, I would make sure they know do you realize that's like made up bullshit, right? It's not real, right? Oh yeah. And unfortunately, like in her 19-year-old son's or 19, I don't know if it's son or daughter, but they do get low confidence because they see people doing things and they think that, well, I can't do that. Is there something wrong with me? Well, no, they might be funded. They might have lots of filters. They might have writers working for them. Who knows? Most of the stuff you see is just not real. London. I have a daughter named London. I'm an alienated mother. I miss my children so much. My eldest one ran away from her father and came back to me. I'm still working on the others. Well, see, London, that is exactly why I do not call myself a father's rights activist per se. I acknowledge facts, and facts are that about 90% of the time courts favor the mother. That also means that 10% of the time the courts favor the father. And in many of those cases, you have a manipulative asshole that was the father of your children or child. And sometimes it is the man who takes advantage of the crooked family courts, and good mothers do get screwed over. And I'm sorry to hear that. Take it a day at a time. Take care of yourself. I'm assuming you're asking for what I would do or what I did. Don't do what I did as far as go to the bottle. Alcohol will not fix shit. That's another lie peddled by Hollywood, and every A-list actor has their own brand, their own special wine or vodka or whiskey that they want to push. And everyone tries to make it cool. Oh, I just had a stressful day. Even Johnny Depp, as much as I admire the guy, he a mega pint of wine. Just don't do it because it will not help anything. Alcohol at the very best is a young person's thing to do occasionally just to have a good time, knowing that it is not healthy for them. Especially when you're older. If you've got a 19-year-old, you're probably, oh wait, I'm sorry. I've got I got the 19-year-old mixed up, but anyway, if you're oldest, anyways, I would imagine you're at least kind of closer to my age. I appreciate you sharing your story with us and wishing you well and all the children well. Well, thank you very much, London. I just love seeing London's name up there because, again, my daughter is named London. And London is my favorite human being, and her turd brothers know it. And I've told her that since he was born. Yes, I am teetotal and smoke bud instead. More power to you. I highly recommend smoking weed over alcohol, smoking weed over cigarettes. If you can get through life without smoking weed, I know, the weed smokers are like, oh, that's like blasphemous, but I just personally don't like weed. Every now and then, maybe just whatever. But as far as for health ways, and I know there are medicinal aspects about it. That's why I've been a proponent of legalized marijuana for years, many years. I mean, if you've watched the Parker movie, it wasn't popular back then, not nearly as popular it is now, but I was openly an avid supporter of legalization of marijuana. I think it's an atrocity. I think it's going to be a stain on this nation in the history books eventually, that people are actually jailed for holding a marijuana plant. It's just so silly. It's so ridiculous. It's part of the reason, I'll be quite honest, the reason I'm not religious anymore, certainly not Christian religious anymore. Feliz Jersey, he is a rapper singer, in my opinion. He's pretty terrible with his music. He is dead. Oh, is that the rapper they mentioned earlier? I can't remember his name. Okay, yeah, I thought he was. I heard that the only time alcohol gets out of the bloodstream, there is no sleeping at all. Wait, I heard that only time. I'm a big, gigantic Enya fan. I love Enya. I know she's my mother's age, but I would totally marry Enya. Just kidding. I'm a fan. Just love Enya. Only time, yes. The on average, from what I've read, the human body can only process about 1 ounce of alcohol per hour, and it all goes through your liver, and your liver is life. You can get, you can get your kidneys flushed, or what is it called? Dialysis, kidney dialysis, but there's no such thing as liver dialysis. Every drop of alcohol you put in your body that poison must be filtered and processed through your liver. And if you overdo it, you're going to get a big old swollen liver, and you could wind up with cirrhosis or a myriad of other things, of which I am not an expert on, but it's just not going to do any good. I can tell you that. I can promise you that. So you've only get one liver. You can live at that one kidney, but you get rid of your only liver and there's no such thing as dialysis for it. You kind of want to take care of it. And one of the best things you can do about it is not drink alcohol, like ever. Parker is doing well. Post Malone recently put out a song called Love Hate Letter to Alcohol. I bet many could relate to it. I don't know. I don't, though. 17. I assume you are 17 years old. Love Hate Letter to Alcohol. I don't like Post Malone music, but as a person, I think Post Malone is a really cool guy. And personally, I think that he is the bastard child of Hank Williams Jr. Have you ever looked at those two side by side? Oh my God, it's so obvious. Go look at it if you don't believe me. Pull up. You can even, I think you just Google Post Malone, Hank Williams Jr. and I'm not the only one seeing this. It'll pull up picture of them side by side. There's London again. It helps me to manage my health issues. I don't smoke every day anymore, but approximately 3 days a week. I assume you're talking about marijuana. It helps me to be more productive and get things done. Yeah, there's people that like work out. They'll smoke a bowl before they go to bed, and they'll smoke a bowl before they work out. Again, it's not my thing. Makes my mouth dry. And when I smoke marijuana, I mean, my body just, like one, I've only done it just a couple handfuls of times, but 1 out of 5 or 6 was a pretty nice, really cool high. And the rest of them, it's just like, I get dumb. It knocks me on my ass. So if it works for you, awesome. It just doesn't work for me. That's why I refuse to drink alcohol. I take medication daily and don't want to screw up my liver. Well, be careful with that stuff too. I mean, again, listen to your doctor, not me, but there's a lot of, got to be careful what I say. Just be careful with that stuff. Look, definitely do some more research on, medication. The fact that you're not mixing it with alcohol, that's awesome. And, anyway, Tamara Metcalf, well, hello to you. Yeah, Juice World. Okay, that's the rapper they meant. I didn't know who he was, and then I don't know if, I guess a fan of his or a fan pages follows me, and they on my Instagram, I think. Juice WRLD isn't terrible. Even Eminem and many rap legends complimented him on his rapping legend. His music is about mental health, relationships, and struggle with drugs. He OD'd LJW 999. I don't know what that means, but okay, I'll just have to take your word for it. I just don't know. I'm not educated enough to know any of his music, so I just don't know. That music's, everyone's just got tastes and preferences. I like some music that people don't, and vice versa. Oops. Tamara, I almost put you in the penalty box. I hit the wrong button there. Finally caught you while you're on. Well, thank you, Ms. Tamara. I'm glad you did. I can't lie. I'm also a conspiracy theorist. Well, there's a nice meme going around. You might want to check on your conspiracy theorists, because they're probably bored at being right of things we conspired and thought about. And look at what's happening. This world is topsy-turvy. Mike Hawk, I hate life, Caleb. Do you have any idea on how to improve on it? Yes. In fact, I would suggest listen to this podcast in particular. I hear you, Mike. I understand why you would say that. It is tough and life is pain, but it can be better. And part of it, and I know this sounds kumbaya, but part of it is all up here. It's your outlook on it. I personally believe that is what sarcasm is for. If you'll notice, some of the greatest comedians are very sarcastic, and they make fun of themselves a lot. Whatever's bugging you, whatever's not going your way, find a way to tell a joke about it, and you learn to laugh about it. Like, I joke about my shit all the time. Like, most people don't brag or joke about going to jail, but I do. Most people don't, tell jokes about when they're an alcoholic or when they're fat. I do it all the time, because it is hard. What worked for me, and everybody's different, but what has worked for me is physical fitness, man. There's just something about it. And try not to find too many excuses as to why you can't, because almost everybody can. I know there's exceptions, but you challenge yourself. Take some measurements of your body. Go work out, change your diet, watch some George Carlin. Listen to a different genre of music. Open your mind to other people's ways of thinking. Get ripped and sweet, like Cartman says in South Park. Hell, watch lots of South Park. Just South Park's the greatest. It's very therapeutic. Listen to Enya. Enya, to me, her music is very, very soothing, and just, God, I love her voice. I absolutely love her voice. Try something new. Help out your disabled neighbor. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't have one. Maybe, I'm just thinking of ideas. Do something out of the normal that you don't normally do. anything. Just try something new. That's what I would suggest. Ryan Bertrand or West, ask yourself what is happening right now, no matter how small, that you could fix, that you should fix, and do it. Majority of life is the small things. I would imagine Ryan's talking to Mike Hawk back there. That's excellent advice. Be the change that you want to see in the world. My Dixie wrecked. I wonder if there's a way to get chicken pox from eating chicken. Hey, I just got a little bit better at it. I remembered it was the green button. From my Dixie wreck gave a dad joke, and I love dad jokes. Well, kitties, I got to most of what I was going to talk about. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about this story that I just, my friend Dwayne, y'all have seen him on here before. I've done interviews with him. He does the Dad Surviving Divorce, DSD, the YouTuber. He called me today, and there's this case in Tarrant County, Texas, where this father is being denied access to his dying cancer-ridden child, 14-year-old child who is in hospice. And it's just incredibly sad. And I don't know much about it. He sent me a link and I watched a little bit of it, but I think I'm going to find out a little bit more about that. And that's probably, unless something else comes up, I'd like to talk about that tomorrow. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and his name in the chat so you can look this guy up if you care to. What is his name? David Henderson in Tarrant County, Texas. I'm going to just put this up there. David Henderson, Tarrant County, Texas. Father denied by judge to see his dying son. The family courts. Now I'm going to show that. I do this. I like the way this works because I can throw something up there if I want to go back and I know it's in a certain video. If y'all do get a chance, look up David Henderson in Tarrant County, Texas. The father denied by a judge to see his dying son. I cannot imagine a worse pain. I cannot imagine, it was bad enough when I was denied access to Blaine when he was thrown in the nut house, the Nick's hospital there in San Antonio twice. And I was raising hell and filming all of it and making signs and protesting as they wouldn't let me in. And Blaine wasn't even in an immediate imminent danger of threat of his life, nearly as what poor David Henderson's son is with the cancer, and he's not even allowed to see his son. Or I think Eric Carroll over there at Dad Talk Today, he did an interview with him, and that's the link I was watching earlier. But he said he got after Dad Talk Today, he put him on blast. A lot of people called the judge and basically says, "What in the holy hell are you doing? To hell with court orders and papers and visitation time. He's about to die. Let the poor kid see his dad. Let the poor man see his dying son." So if y'all get a chance and are interested about what I'll be talking about, look up David Henderson. I like it whenever, I'm more than happy to break news and talk about things, but when people know something about what I'm talking about and I might miss something, it's nice whenever people are able to, fill it in there. So anyways, kiddies, we're an hour and 40 minutes in, and I'm going to call it quits now because my back's hurting and I'm tired. And I haven't had enough protein today. I had my breakfast that got me through with lots of carbs, got me through my sun-baked outside work today. And I had a chicken breast with a bell pepper and an onion grilled just to perfect, or baked just to perfection, just the way I like it. And that is not enough protein. So I'm about to go make me some nachos without the cheese. I make homemade salsa and it is bomb.com. Maybe I'll share my homemade salsa recipe with y'all. All right. Thanks so much. If you've gotten anything out of this, you enjoyed this, please pass this along to your family and friends. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Take care. Bye. Don't hit your cheer-ins.